Evaluate the following function at the values -2, 5, and a. So to evaluate the function means that we're going to replace t with that value. So we want to replace t with -2. F of -2, every value of t gets changed to -2, so that's -2 over -2 plus 3. And we're going to follow order of operations, so I'll simplify what's in the bottom of the fraction. -2 plus 3 is 1, and -2 divided by 2 is -2. So we'll do the same thing for a value of 5. Let me just recap here. We found that f of -2 is -2. So we evaluated the function at -2. Then we'll do the same thing at t equals 5. F of 5 is 5 over 5 plus 3. And in the denominator, 5 plus 3 is 8. And we have 5 divided by 8, or 5 over 8. This is a fraction in lowest terms, so I'm going to stop there with simplifying. So we got f of 5 equals 5/8. And then finally, we're going to evaluate at a, at t equals a. F of a is a over a plus 3. And a is a value that we don't have a specific number value for. So this is as far as we can go with simplifying. A and 3 are not like terms. We can't combine them together. And then we're also not able to do that division. So f of a is a over a plus 3. In this question, we want to use the vertical line test to determine whether the graph represents a function. And we're given this graph over here. It's a little bit crowded with my words. But before we go over that, let's just think about what the definition of a function is. A function is a relation such that for each element in the domain, there's exactly one corresponding element in the range. So we want to know whether this graph here represents a function, and this is what a function is. It's a relation. A relation is any set of ordered pairs. And a graph is showing us a group of ordered pairs or a set of ordered pairs. So every single one of these ordered pairs that are on this line are included. We don't include this one with the open circle. We do include this one with the open circle, and then all of the other ordered pairs that are on the line make up this graph. So we do have a relation, but we want to make sure that this is a relation that for each element in the domain, there's exactly one corresponding element in the range. So this is the key word here, exactly one corresponding element in the range. And to do this, we have a test that we call the vertical line test that helps us decide that if every element in the domain, every x, corresponds with exactly one element in the range, one y. So when we do the vertical line test, what you do is you draw vertical lines everywhere on the graph. I'm going to especially pay attention to this kind of strange spot where the two lines kind of meet each other, and then all the other vertical lines along here. Now, when you draw these vertical lines, what you're paying attention to is how many intersection points you have. Let me use a different color. So this vertical line has one intersection point, and this one has one, and this one has one. And what that's telling us is that we have an element in the domain, whatever this value is, and it corresponds with only one y value. Because it has one intersection point, it's corresponding to one y. So as long as all of the vertical lines only have one intersection point, then we have a function. So let's pay attention to this long line, long vertical line I drew. This one has an open circle, which is not part of the graph, and this one has a closed circle, which is part of the graph. So that vertical line only has one intersection point, and we only have one intersection point on all of these vertical lines. And so that is telling us that we have a graph that does represent a function. So this is a function, yes. For this question, we want to write the equation in standard form for a circle with a center of -4, 6 and tangent to the x-axis. So let's first understand what standard form of a circle is. And standard form of a circle follows this format: x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And that's where r is the radius and hk is the center. So we were given the center of the circle, so that means that we have the values of h and k. And really the only other value we need to write the standard form of a circle will be the radius. So we're going to get that information based on this piece of information here, that the circle is tangent to the x-axis. So let me clarify what that means. So to be tangent to the x-axis, for a circle to be tangent to the x-axis means that when you draw the circle will just touch the axis in one place. And I didn't draw my circle very well there, but the circle will just touch the axis like this at a single point. So that means that the circle is tangent to the x-axis. And if, for instance, your circle was tangent to the y-axis, here would be your vertical axis, and the circle would touch that y-axis in a single spot as well. So when a circle is tangent to the x-axis or tangent to the y-axis, it makes it so that it's easy for us to find that radius. So if we draw a picture of the circle, I think I'll help you understand. So if we have a center of -4, 6, so -4 and then 6, that means my circle has a center that is right here. And I know that my circle is tangent to the x-axis. So when the circle is tangent to the x-axis, I can go straight with a vertical line to the x-axis, and that point is the point that will touch the circle. Sorry, touch the axis. That's where the circle will touch that x-axis. And my circle is going to be kind of too big to see here. But remember the definition of the radius. The radius goes from the center to a point on the circle, and we just learned what that point is. That point is -4, 0. So you're going to be able to figure out that radius by finding the distance between the center and that point on the circle. We call that the point of tangency. And we could also, in this case, just count because the center is at -4, 6. I know this distance is 6 units to this point right here. So now I know that the radius is 6. And I can write the standard form of the circle, x minus h, which is -4 squared, plus y minus k, which is 6 squared, equals 6 squared. And we'll simplify, that's x plus 4 squared plus y minus 6 squared equals 36. So we have the standard form of the circle being x plus 4 squared plus y minus 6 squared equals 36. On this question, we want to find the equation of a vertical line through the point -4, 7. Now, the equation of a vertical line is a special case. What we know about vertical lines is that a vertical line has a slope that is undefined, and we know that the equation of a vertical line has a special format as well. The equation of a vertical line is going to be x equals a. So in this example, we're given a point that this vertical line passes through, and we're going to use the x-coordinate of that vertical line to define that value of a in the equation. So the equation of this vertical line will be x equals -4. We can draw a picture of this vertical line to feel a little bit more comfortable about that. We have the ordered pair -4, 7. So -4 and 7 would be a point here. And if we were to draw a vertical line going through that point, you can see that all of the points on the vertical line, every single ordered pair on this vertical line, has an x-coordinate of -4. And so that's how we define the equation. It's all ordered pairs with an x-coordinate of -4. In this question, we're given a picture of f of x. This picture is y equals f of x, and we have a couple questions related to it. We want to know for how many values of x is f of x equal to -3. So let me kind of change the wording of this question so that it makes sense on what we're doing. And when we have f of x equals 3, this is saying that y equals 3. And we can think of y equals 3 as a horizontal line. And that horizontal line is that horizontal line at y equals 3. So when it says for how many values of x, we can think of this as how many times does the horizontal line cross the graph. So you can see that the horizontal line, y equals 3, crosses the graph in only one place. So that means that there is only one x value for which f of x equals 3 or y equals 3. So the answer on that one is 1. Then on the second part, it says, what is the value of f of 4? So this notation with f of 4 is indicating that we have an x value of 4, and when we answer, we're hoping to find what the y value is. So on our graph, we want to find an x value of 4. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we have an x value of 4. And we want to find a spot on the graph that has an x value of 4, and that would be this spot right here. Now we can tell, because this is a horizontal line, that all the y values are the same along that section of the line. So that ordered pair will be 4, negative 1. So the y coordinate when x is 4 is negative 1. So f of 4 is negative 1. Thank you for checking out my videos. Have a great day.